Welcome to the second annual Worst LEGO Reveals! Welcome to the second annual Worst LEGO Reveals. I am your host, Holly, and this is also known as the Best LEGO Leaks award show. Leaks are everywhere, even GTA 6 deals with them, so today I wanted to celebrate some of the funniest ones that exist within the LEGO company and LEGO community kind of umbrella. Now last year we had some very top contenders, with our winner being the Hogwarts Express that accidentally got shipped to at least 8 people, so I'm really excited to go through our top nominees this year. And remember, this is all just for fun and for ha-has and just a fun way to recap the year that no one else will probably ever do. Now, starting off this year, we have our honorable mentions category, to which we have 2 entrants. First up on my list is Buildable Chewbacca. Now, this one technically I feel like wasn't really a leak. It did leak early as like a grainy photo and looked as cursed as the official photo. However, I want to call attention to the rumor of this leak. With Buildable Chewbacca, rumors were swirling about him for several months, more so than we would have ever gotten any of the other summer leaks. The other one I have on my list is a land ambassador leaking half of the Rocket Raccoon set. And again, this isn't to shade anyone. I believe it was Brixie. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't really pay attention. Whoopsies for him. You didn't see the full set. You only saw half of it. So like personally, I didn't think it was really that impactful. I don't know if LEGO did. If they did, that's very unfortunate. I'm sorry. Anyway, moving on, we have number 10, which was the LEGO Disney CMF leak. This was one of my most anticipated LEGO products of 2023, and there were several stages to the LEGO Disney leak. Firstly, there was a lot of, I'm presuming, Mexico factory leaks, being Stitch and a couple of the Disney villains, and nothing really ever super complete. And then one day, the entire CMF bag dropped, and then shortly after, the paper dropped. And then much like a lot of other CMFs, they showed up in stores. You could buy them early. It's the next day now, so moving on to number 9, we have the holiday diorama leak on Facebook Marketplace. It ended up leaking because like some sort of like sheet of paper. It looks like something that came out of the factories. These types of things do not get out very often. It is incredibly rare to see this type of thing. So the fact that it leaked by it appearing on Facebook Marketplace is really, really interesting. I don't even know if anyone bought it. Number 8 goes to Avengers Tower. Now there's quite a lot of layers to this one. The first one was just like a standard box leak and it was reasonably high quality. Then there were a lot of high quality images that came out. And then lastly, Avengers Tower was built on display inside a LEGO store, and I'm not sure where this was. I'm pretty sure it was somewhere in Europe this time around. And given that this set is a LEGO direct-to-consumer set, like the fact that all 3 of these types of things happened is incredibly wild. Like we got a really good look at pretty much everything to do with this set in a really nice high quality too. And I felt like Avengers Tower retained a lot of the excitement, which is surprising given the fact that you could go to a LEGO store apparently and see it. I don't know how the video of that got so blurry though. At number 7, we have a classic type of LEGO leak, and that is LEGO leaking their own set, which in this case was the Orient Express from LEGO Ideas. LEGO accidentally posted these images. They had really gone all out as well for the promotion of this. Like they got Francis Bourgeois, our good old train guy, to do a whole promotion for this. Like this was a really big deal, especially given just like how much the really old AFOLs love LEGO trains. And like it was all of their lifestyle images too. Like it wasn't even just like, again, a grainy picture. It's like, no, LEGO accidentally posted everything themselves. Then again, they also technically did that with like Fortnite. I mean, that marketing campaign, in my opinion, still an absolute success for LEGO. I think they did fantastic. But this little slip up, especially for hardcore LEGO fans, did kind of take away a little bit of that impact, I feel like. Speaking of Fortnite though, that is our number 6, because this is one of LEGO's biggest collabs that they have ever done. They spent $1 billion on Epic Games to try and create LEGO Fortnite, and the fact that they leaked like what LEGO Fortnite was going to look like on their own website, man, you screwed up. Now, at the time that this was published on the website, technically we already had the LEGO llama floating around, and that was a thing and really well known about. And then the fact that you kind of put one of the minifigures in before we'd gotten like the skin reveal trailer, let alone a gameplay trailer, it's kind of disappointing. Although with things like Fortnite, like they really kind of announce things and then like it's in your hands within like a matter of days. So it was a really, really quick turnaround, unlike a lot of LEGO products. However, after this incident, I wouldn't put it past LEGO to accidentally reveal LEGO Fortnite products. At number 5, we have an in-store leak, and that was this year's LEGO Star Wars dioramas. This one was wild. This happened so early in comparison to when the dioramas actually existed, and both of the dioramas showed up inside a Canadian toy store. I don't really think that they were sold early, quite literally anywhere else, unlike a lot of other sets. The fact that both of them just kind of popped up on the shelves one day, I'm pretty sure it was like a month and a bit before the set released, before they'd been revealed or anything like that, was absolutely crazy. And this leak happened super early, and then there was reviews posted about it, and then LEGO still hadn't officially like talked about it themselves, whether that be through a fan media channel or their own website, for another good couple of weeks. It was really delayed, so much so by the time they kind of announced it and even like I guess released the set, like I'd kind of just forgotten about it, to be honest. And then there was also a lot of conversations about the prize, because all of the Americans thought that it was a leak in America because they all think everything is about them. Shout out to all my freedom people. Don't get me wrong, not all of you are like that, but there's quite a lot of you. Everyone freaked out for no reason, and then it's like, oh, it's actually cheaper than we thought. Still a bit expensive, but cheaper than we thought. Now, number 4 on this list, personally, I didn't think was a big deal. This is a leak that happened that I didn't even know was a leak, and I feel like the whole situation just got completely blown out of proportion, and because of how blown out of proportion it got, that is why I've decided to give it number 4 on this list, and that was the Braille Bricks leak. For those of you asking why, because this got announced several years ago, I'm in complete agreement. I did not know what leaked. So to answer the question, apparently the packaging hadn't actually been revealed. Like the fact that Braille Bricks existed, everyone knew that. This product is kind of like Duplo, where it's not really relevant to a large population unless you're specifically the targeted audience for it. Like if you have a kid, then Duplo is relevant for you. If you have trouble with your vision, or you're blind, or you work with people that are, then Braille Bricks are relevant for you. And I saw photos of these going around on Instagram, and I was like, oh cool, like they're doing something with Braille Bricks again. I didn't really realize it was a leak. I thought it was just like an announcement, and I was like, okay, cool. And I didn't even know that until I saw this video in my YouTube recommended. Apparently, Chris from Duck Bricks, beloved LEGO YouTuber and LEGO master, accidentally leaked Braille Bricks in a haul, and I felt so bad for him. The fact that he was like beating himself up because he felt so guilty for accidentally leaking something broke my heart. This leak was not a big deal. So many people didn't even realize that it was a thing. LEGO could have said nothing, done nothing, but they put him on probation for 6 months. And then apparently that got extended because he accidentally leaked something again, I heard. I don't even know what that leak was either. This whole situation was so wild because it's like it was already an announced product, just this like specific packaging wasn't announced. It's weird. I really do not think it deserved the kind of reaction and response they get. I get that LEGO's got to try and, you know, like be fair to everyone. But it's time now to get into our top 3, and kicking things off at number 3 is the Indiana Jones leak saga. Much like Avengers Tower, there's a couple of layers to this one. So starting off, we had the initial 3 playsets that leaked in February of this year, which included the plane set. We also had the Temple of Doom and the little like temple from the first movie. Now, this was really interesting because everyone was really excited. It was super blurry, and we were all like, yes, Indiana Jones is coming out, woo! And again, this was February. These sets didn't release until April, so it was very early and everyone's hyped up. And then later on, these sets show up in store, and we finally got our first glimpse after another small leak of the Temple of the Golden Idol set, which is absolutely sick. So the temple, the tomb, and the planes all showed up at a Learning Express. So Indiana Jones having like really high quality sets on shelves, images, and then later like reviews and products from people who are buying these sets was really interesting. However, there was something notably missing. No one could find the Temple of Doom anywhere. It was the only set to be excluded in the stores, and everyone was like, what's going on? Everyone was kind of wondering, hey, where's the Temple of Doom? Because remember, we'd seen this photo. So a couple of the fan media reached out to LEGO and were like, hey, where's this set? And LEGO gave one of my like least favorite LEGO statements ever because they didn't even answer the question. This is what they said. To me, this doesn't answer any questions. It's just an explanation of what you're doing with the Indiana Jones theme. You didn't say anything. But then the fact that there was LEGO ambassadors who are known to not be able to share photos of leaks, who were then posting this image around, just tells me that, yeah, it's cancelled. Anyway, Indiana Jones was still a massive success. Everyone was really excited, but everyone to this day is still like, hey, Where's the Temple of Doom? I want it just simply for the Willie Scott hairpiece. I want that because it reminds me of me. And number 2, we have one of the most anticipated and exciting LEGO Star Wars UCS sets to ever come out, and that is a giant UCS Venator for all of my prequel and Clone Wars fans out there. It was such an exciting day. We're like, yes, we're getting this set. So hyped for the Venator reveal. Joke's on you. It showed up at an airport in Kuala Lumpur. You thought you were getting a special reveal? Not happening. So one day someone decides to just stumble on into a LEGO store while they were at the airport waiting for their flight, and they come across the UCS Venator in a LEGO store. What? I think this was like 3 weeks as well before it was supposed to come out, so the fact that they had it in stock, let alone put it on the shelf, was absolutely wild. Now, I have been to an airport store myself, specifically the one inside Gatwick Airport in the UK, and I remember when I went in, I went to go and get my passport stamp, and they told me, they're like, oh no, sorry, we don't do that, we're not actually a LEGO store, we're just like licensed to be. So with that information, I'm assuming that the Kuala Lumpur store is the exact same, which is probably why there was a lot of confusion and why the set ended up on shelves. But this caused a lot of mass hysteria online and reminds me a lot as well of the Hogwarts Express saga from last year. Now, with this set being on shelves, I imagine LEGO themselves and the ambassadors were all freaking out at this point because they're like, oh no, what do we do? From my understanding, the review embargo date of the Venator got bumped up as a result of this leak happening so that they could get their videos out faster, get everything out working because, you know, airport kind of screwed up, which makes a lot of sense. However, LEGO didn't actually announce this set for like still a couple of days after this happened. It was a pretty delayed response in that regard. However, the reviews, we were like, yep, kind of, let's be proactive on this. Don't quote me on that though, because I'm not 100% sure. And to make matters worse for LEGO, there was a copy of that set that was bought from the store floating around in the wild, which is just so fun for, I guess, just like general LEGO fans. Not if you're LEGO and like the company itself, but for me as a fan watching this all unfold, I was like, oh my god, this is so sick. And then for number 1, you could probably already guess this because there is nothing that is ever going to beat this leak. This is by far the worst LEGO reveal of all time. And in fact, it wasn't just one set. It was like 12 sets because LEGO had one of the largest leaks I think they will ever have in the history of their company. So I'm just chilling on Instagram one day and I'm scrolling through and all of a sudden I get a rumor for a set and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then I refresh again and there's another one and another one and another one, and they are all for these giant direct-to-consumer sets. I'm like, what is going on? Hold on a second. I just sit down and make a quick news from wherever I am video. I'm freaking out. I'm getting excited because there is Disney on there. There's DC, there's Harry Potter, there's Star Wars, there's Lord of the Rings, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Turns out LEGO did a survey and asked people about the prices of their different sets. So all of these sets are leaking, and then not just the descriptions and like the stuff that the actual sets were about leaked, all of the photos from this confidential survey ended up leaking, and here they are. Jokes, I'm not showing you that. I don't want my channel striked. Absolutely not. I did do a really poor mock-up drawing though. There you go, hashtag LEGO leaks. But this was so wild and no one could tell if it was legit or not, but it also looked incredibly legit. There was things like a UCS Jabba's sail barge, what's it call it from Lord of the Rings? I can't remember what it's called. Barad-dûr? I think that's it. Sauron's Eye. We also had a giant burrow, a sorting hat, a really nice Gotham type of like LEGO art DC type of set. We had Snow White's cottage, which basically just looked like this idea set here, Maleficent dragon, Simba, and a buildable Donald Duck that matches these Mickey and Minnie figures. It was just absolutely insane. And at first the photos were really hard to find, but this thing spread like absolute wildfire. I can't imagine how difficult it must have been for LEGO to try and clean this up. Like everyone knows about like, you know, erasing your social media footprint, or like you get the lectures from school and it's like, well, what's on the internet? It's on there forever type of thing. Like, you know, those lectures. Think about that from LEGO's case in this side. I cannot imagine the hysteria that would have gone on behind the scenes. I would have loved to be a fly on the wall at the LEGO group that day. It was insane. It was next levels. Nothing is ever going to beat this. And the funny thing about it as well is that it's very much proven to be true, because one of the sets that also got leaked was in fact Rivendell. I mean, it was a different version of the set very slightly, but you could tell it was like a preliminary model, and this one is just a little bit more refined, you know, because it's the actual product. And then we've now got the rumors coming around for a Snow White cottage coming out in 2024 and a buildable sorting hat. And you know, I wonder what those things will look like. It's not like there was a giant leak about them. But those are the worst Lego reveals of 2023 / best Lego leaks, because I guess like that last one, it hasn't really been completely proven to be a worst Lego reveal yet, only really for like one set so far. But anyway, you know what I mean. It was just a cool time. Let me know which was your favorite leak of the year down in the comments below, and if I missed out on any as well. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Good night, everybody. Subscribe.